Good morning. Welcome back to the Temple of the Holy Beard. I'm Pastor Dave. You're probably wondering why I haven't made a video in a few days. Fortunately, I've been sick. Caught some nasty bug and been fighting it for a while now, but um, for the most part, it's passed. Still feeling a little groggy and, fighting a little something, but lingering symptoms, as they say. I'm sure it'll pass soon. But purpose of this video was just to reiterate some of what I'd said before about natural treatments for getting sick. I personally don't respond very well to medications. Pharmaceuticals just make me feel sicker. So I try to avoid them as much as possible unless I'm really feeling sick and feeling like nothing else is working. Anyway, getting sick with this, I didn't follow my own advice the first couple of days, and I just went with it and hoped that it would pass. Hey, if I give it another day, if I give it a little more time, I'm sure it'll pass and I'll be feeling better. And that wasn't working, and then I think by about day 3 is when I kind of hit me of crap. I should be taking vitamins, and I started off with upping the vitamin C, and I took some of the emergency drinks. I don't know if you ever had those. They don't taste too bad, but they have a good assortment. It's kind of like taking a multivitamin in a drink. The stuff that I had first was the end of a carton. It had, of course, the high dose vitamin C, which is the big thing for it, is just 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C, and then it also had 1,000 IU of vitamin D. Now, the vitamin D isn't in their standard baseline package. It's a different package. So if you're going to buy emergency or or an off-brand product like that, look at the ingredients, because the vitamin D really does make a difference. It helps in a lot of ways, everything from just feeling low energy up to even depression, and whatever else, even COVID. Some of the natural homeopathic doctors were recommending high doses of vitamin C and D, as well as a couple other vitamins. So anyway, if you're starting to feel sick, as soon as you start to feel symptoms, or as soon as you've been exposed to somebody who was sick, just start taking vitamin C, whether it's a drink or a multivitamin or the C tabs on their own, or even just orange juice. But look at how much it has in there. Orange juice doesn't have as much as you would think. That's where the pills come in. Or you could have a combination of the two. And even now, while I'm still getting over it, I'm taking the 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C in the morning, 1,000 or so IU vitamin D, and I'm drinking orange juice and plenty of water. If you think you're drinking enough water, you're not. If you think you're good, double it, especially if you're feeling sick. Water does a lot, because feeling dehydrated can make you feel sick. A lot of times, if you go to the emergency room, you're not feeling good, one of the first things they do is give you IV fluids, because you may not realize that you're dehydrated, especially nowadays when we drink a lot of coffee, soda, anything that comes in a package or a bottle. It's not as good for you as just plain water. Like I've mentioned in other videos, look at where your water's coming from too. If you're on city tap water, make sure you've got a good filter. Even just a Brita, get the black cartridge. It'll help a lot. But if you've got fluoride in your water, it's not as good for you as they want you to believe. Get yourself a good filter that'll filter a lot of that out. Or buy bottled water. You might still run it through your filter just to be sure. Bottled water is just bottled from somebody else's tap. So it's the same. It just doesn't have the same chemicals as your tap does. Anyway, I'm rambling. Like I said, if you're starting to feel sick, there's a lot that's out there, a lot that's going on right now. There's, COVID's still out there, and, believe me, I don't think it's going away. I don't care what they say. whether you got the poke or you got, natural immunity or whatever you've got. I think it's here to stay, and we're just at the point now where it's just another cold going around. So the best thing that you could do, in my humble opinion, is learn these natural treatments and apply them. Vitamin C, vitamin D, and a lot of water is the base minimum that you could do. Um, I'll do other videos in the future of other vitamins and what they're good for and whatnot. But, start with that. And had I started with the vitamin C and D, as soon as I started feeling symptoms, it might have shaved off a few days. Um, these lingering symptoms might not be as bad. I don't know. But one thing that I did notice, especially in those first few days when I was feeling the sickest, is taking the vitamin C tab or drinking the Emergen-C. Honestly, there's not much of a difference. I would feel like I had medication. It would last a couple hours. I'd say probably about 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours before it started wearing off. But it was really weird. And I noticed it fairly quickly. Was, within about 20 minutes or so of taking that vitamin C, I started feeling better. Not over it, but significantly improved. And then, just like taking Advil or something for a headache, over time it weared off, and then I started feeling really sick again. Make sure you look into how much you can take in a day. Vitamin C is water soluble, which that means, I'm sure there's still a point that you can take way too much and cause yourself problems. But with vitamin C, for one thing, it's water soluble, so if you take too much, as you drink water, as you urinate, it's just going to flush right out of your system. So in theory, you can't take too much. Your body will just flush it out. However, don't trust anything. There still could be too much, but I keep saying, 1,000 IU per day. If you're really sick, or 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C. If you're really sick, you could probably go 2 or 3. I've heard stories of the way they were treating, what's it called? AIDS. Back in the 70s, early 80s, they didn't have any sort of treatment methods, so the homeopathic doctors figured out the vitamin C. And these people were taking really high doses of vitamin C, like 20,000 milligrams a day or more in some cases, and the vitamin C didn't hurt them. It actually powered the immune system so much to where it was the only thing that was actually fighting the AIDS for a long time. But of course, those weren't approved treatments, and those doctors had to kind of go under the radar. But what we can learn from that is that, again, I wouldn't recommend taking 20,000 milligrams in a day, at least not without talking with a doctor and somebody who's smarter about it than I am. But, your body's an amazing thing. You could probably take more than what you need to. And if taking that helps you to feel better, you feeling better is just basically it empowering, strengthening your immune system, making your immune system feel better. It can work harder and, not feel as exhausted, I guess you could say. So that's all what you're doing is, with the homeopathic remedies, it's all about strengthening your immune system. Your immune system's strong. It's your army that will fight against these diseases. Ways to keep your immune system strong, of course, is from what you eat. Avoid highly processed food, avoid things that come in packages, avoid too much fast food and whatnot. If you don't recognize it, you probably shouldn't be eating it. Same thing, if you don't know where it grows, you probably shouldn't be eating it. Look at the ingredients. Always look at the ingredients in the package. If you can't pronounce it, you probably shouldn't be eating it. If you couldn't grow it in your own backyard, assuming your climate supported it, you probably shouldn't be eating it. And some of our food is so highly processed. There's a saying, well, even the Bible you read in there, it says to eat the apple to include the core and the seeds. What that means is that the the food in its natural form, the way it grows, is good for you. And when you take that apple and you strip it down, you make the juice, well, that's too much sugar. That high sugar is not good for you. That's why, they say drinking apple juice is good for you, just very small doses, because it's too concentrated. And it doesn't have the antidotes. If sugar's a poison, the fiber is the antidote. If you eat it together, the poison and the antidote together is good for you, really good for you. That's where the saying of eat the apple and the core and the seeds. Well, the seeds, if you strip that apart down to its smallest form, it has a highly toxic poison in there, which, is not good. However, you eat that seed whole, the antidote is with it. That poison, that antidote together gets into your digestive system, and it's actually really good for you. So moral of the story is, you are what you eat. Look at what you eat. Pay attention to what you're eating and understand what it is. If you don't understand it, don't eat it. Do the research. Learn about it. I've written articles about it. I've posted stuff on the Facebook group. If you're a member of the Facebook group, Temple of the Holy Beard with Pastor Dave on Facebook. Join it. Follow along. I can't write every article, so I post some others that have good information there. But do your own research. If you don't know what it is, don't eat it. Staying healthy is all about, paying attention. Paying attention to what you eat, paying attention to how you cook it. The temperature makes a huge difference too. You can get a healthy thing and cook it at too high of a temperature, turn it toxic. Learn. Don't screw it up. You could turn a good thing into a bad thing without even knowing it. So if you don't know what you're doing, research it, ask somebody, talk to your elders. They know a lot. Don't discount it. If you have any questions, post it on the Facebook group for everybody to chat with. I'll respond, and other members will respond. Like I said, Temple of the Holy Beard with Pastor Dave on Facebook. Temple of the Holy Beard with Pastor Dave. It's the Facebook group. So get on there, follow, join. I'm rambling, so I'll end this, but like I said, moral of the story, eat healthy, stay healthy, take your vitamins. If you think you're getting sick, just pump those vitamins. If you really feel sick and you feel like you need to go to a doctor, go to a doctor. Don't take this as the end-all be-all. Don't be afraid to go to the emergency room. Don't be afraid to call your doctor. That's what they're there for. Just don't become dependent on them. If you can do a little bit of treatment yourself first, maybe you can cut down on some of the traffic and they can help other people. But if you're feeling sick and you need help, go to see a doctor. Do it. Don't delay. Don't put it off if you need it. If it doesn't feel right, something's wrong, go see a doctor. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and share it with your friends. Join the Facebook group, Temple of the Holy Beard with Pastor Dave. Post anything that you want to share. Ask any questions that you have. We love chatting about things. So, again, I'm Pastor Dave with Temple of the Holy Beard. Thanks for watching.